that solar energy is the cleanest and a potential solution to all our energy-related issues. According to the US Department of Energy, the amount of sunlight striking the Earth's surface in 1.5 hours is enough for the entire world's energy requirement for a full year. However, burning fossil fuel continues to be the major source of energy production worldwide as it is more convenient. In 2018, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change announced that 89% of global carbon dioxide emissions came from the burning of fossil fuels. This has led to developments like an increased rate of changes in climate patterns with rising sea levels, loss of biodiversity, and severe food scarcity. Though shifting to cleaner and sustainable energy sources such as solar power is clearly of paramount importance, yet some of the myths and misconceptions related to adverse effects of the renewable energy industry are causing obstacles in adoption of these systems. Let us debunk some misinformation about solar energy in Sri Lanka. The first claim is solar energy can be harnessed only when there is bright sunlight. The fact is that solar technology can function in any condition, even on rainy and snowy days. Let's see how it works. As solar panels are more suited to tropical climates, solar panel efficiency is not affected by the outside temperature. Solar panels mainly use energy from sunlight. Therefore, if sunlight is available, solar panels would continue to generate energy, possibly at lower levels in gloomy weather conditions. Electromagnetic radiation is absorbed by the photovoltaic cells in the solar panels, and the energy gets converted into electrical charge, causing the flow of electricity. Concentrated solar power uses mirrors to concentrate solar rays and is mostly used in mass-scale industrial installations. Solar panels use the energy from the light of the sun rather than the heat. Therefore, the amount of energy they produce in given weather conditions depends on the amount of cloud cover and how much light is still getting through to the panels. Also, contrary to popular beliefs, extreme heat is not the preferred weather condition for solar energy generation, and the efficiency of solar panels may come down by 20 to 30% in extreme heat. The second claim that we will debunk is solar power systems aren't efficient enough. It is a fact that no energy conversion process has 100% efficiency. Solar energy too has a lower density as compared to fossil fuels. Solar power systems efficiency is the percentage of sunlight that's converted to usable electricity. So, even though it seems like solar panels have lower efficiency, this is not a major issue. To optimize the solar panel's energy efficiency, strategies such as installing a solar concentrator or backup batteries and operating a lesser number of devices simultaneously are advised. Even though coal and natural gas are more efficient options in terms of energy efficiency, considering the environmental impact, solar energy scores heavily over other sources. The third claim is solar power is an overpriced process. Installation and maintenance costs are very high, and hence it is not a suitable source of power generation for a country like Sri Lanka. It is true that the installation cost is high, but solar panels are a beneficial source of energy over time. Research scientist Dr. Gamini Piyadasa explains that since Sri Lanka is very close to the equator, the nation receives an adequate amount of sunlight throughout the year. Hence, harnessing solar energy is the most suitable method for generating electricity given the prevailing climate in Sri Lanka. The initial cost of purchasing a solar power system is fairly high, but the maintenance cost is negligible. Electrical engineer ADP Arya Sinha stated that the initial cost of a solar power setup is higher, mainly due to the significant cost of the inverter, including taxes. For cleaning and other maintenance purposes, using a soft brush once a year is sufficient, as clean panels help absorb sunlight without interruption. Sri Lanka is endowed with several types of renewable energy resources, including biomass, hydropower, solar and wind. However, solar power energy generation is the main form of renewable energy source that has indicated the highest potential for growth during the last few years. The annual electricity energy produced from solar power sources has risen by nearly 46% in the past 2 decades. Co-publication of the Asian Development Bank and the United Nations Development Programme also forecast significant improvements in the solar and wind power utilization in Sri Lanka in the coming decades, as can be seen on your screen. The fourth claim says that the government does not pay for the additional electricity generated through solar power systems by consumers. The fact is that though there might be a delay, yet the government is making the relevant payments. ADP Arya Sinha, electrical engineer of Solar Wholesalers Private Limited, explains that within the first 7 years of installation of a solar power system, the government pays 22 rupees per unit for the additional electricity added from the solar power system to the main grid system. After that, 15 rupees 50 cents will be paid for the next 13 years. In this way, payments are made for a period of 20 years. However, this amount may vary depending on the situation in the country and decisions made by the government in the future as well. Accounts Executive of Solar Wholesalers Private Limited, Chamika Viraj, said that the government had offered specific loans for solar power systems before the current crisis in Sri Lanka began. The unprecedented levels of rising inflation in Sri Lanka have resulted in the prices of raw materials for the solar power system soaring sky high. Viraj also said that despite the initial high-cost considerations, customers are still weighing the possibility of converting to solar, especially with the ongoing power cuts in Sri Lanka. Using or burning fossil fuels is the most dangerous activity, damaging the environment. It is taking the world towards the worst imaginable levels of climate change, and therefore we should all refrain from it. Renewable energy sources are the best solutions we can adopt. It is the call of the hour and one should consider and implement it. Renewable energy production may seem too costly at some point, but in the long run, it is the most feasible. Moreover, by adopting it, we will also contribute to saving the earth from climate situations fatal to humans and other living beings.